Hi, my name is Rick, and this is episode 1 of my Sunless Sea Zubmariner videos. Last episode we beat the game. This episode we're going to start over with the absolutely latest content with new stories and new artwork. My goal is to make this video like an audiobook. If I'm doing my job right, you don't even need to look at the screen. It's mostly just a bunch of words and a tiny ship sailing around blowing up monsters. There's not much to look at, really. A few pictures of the characters and locations, that's about it. I'm starting out with the resources from several games, including the winning version of Retiring with Money. My plan is to sail north and explore a bit and see how far the fuel takes me. I can get a submarine by going south, and I will do that early on, but I want to get some officers first. Also find a few of the locations closer to London. I didn't play Fallen London, the browser game, so I only know about this world what I've pieced together from playing Sunless Sea a couple of times. If you know anything about the Sunless Sea setting, I should know. Please tell me in the comments. I've beaten it the money way, sailed off the top of the map, never came anywhere near beating the Find Your Father's Bones quest. I have some idea what I'm doing and a big head start on the boat in terms of guns, engines, a light, and crew. I'm going to buy a better but similar sized boat. We'll start out with a better gun and drop the best engine we can for now in it. I could buy a bigger, more expensive boat, but I'm not sure I could afford the equipment upgrades for it after that, and I'm not sure I could afford the crew and fuel and supplies to run the bigger boat at the start of the game. Also, this will allow us to have a fast ship right at the start, which really helps make the game playable. A quick note. In this playthrough I'm going to make my captain be a bit of a rogue, in response to a rogue-like world. He'll be a bit like Han Solo if the boat Han piloted was in an ocean under the earth. The world this guy lives in is filled with real monsters and strange, poorly defined powers. This guy is a smuggler with a dubious moral compass and a fondness for the city of London. He's going to start out by being a ship's captain and later become something of an accidental spy. He wouldn't hurt a small blonde girl who is mean to him, but he's not above a little light kidnapping if he thinks it will help his favorite city. He may be a poet, but he's a poet with a big cannon and a determination to find his father's bones in a world of strange, dark, scary things. Fallen London, deep, dark, and marvelous. All voyages start here, and this is where successful voyages end. Let's see what some of these buttons do. What do we got down here? The Labyrinth of Tigers is open upon the patronage of the London Zoological Society to cautious visitors for educational purposes. Here you may see the devil apes of far Mandalay, the thing in the mirror, the Cantigaster's children, the gargantuan cave snake, the inhabitor of wolves, the hybrid fiend. NB, the management recommends that you arrange your exit well before closing time. And you have some options. You can provide a rare creature of the labyrinth, or you can purchase a live specimen, but it's very expensive, and I don't want to do either of those things. Advice for captains. The much-lamented M. Demoe found a watery grave long, long ago. Probably your end will be no better, but if you read this book of invaluable advice, your chances will improve. Okay. On endings and beginnings. Captains often die. This is not the end. When you die, you'll learn lessons which will help you survive next time. Beware, the layout of the Untersee changes with each new captain. But home waters are stable, and islands will only move so far. Go? Go where? I see. It's a little more details on that. Legacies. Future captains can inherit some skills, officers, equipment, and money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that allow you to preserve a greater inheritance. Okay. You know what? This guy's dad was a Zea-Captain. This guy is a Zea-Captain. He doesn't need this book. And it's boring, and I'm not going to read it. I know all this stuff anyways. Goodbye. Your father's bones. The next step. Do you have what your contact wants? Mr. Huffam. He wants news to cover his cost and risks. Frankly, this price is not high if the masters of the bazaar really are involved. But Huffam has a generous soul. You should at least pay for the coffee. He wants An Echo, Tale of Terror, A Memory of Distant Shores, a single Z story, and that's it. It's really not that much, but we don't have it. Here we have the starting ship, the Naufragiste, a Ligeia-class steamer. This tramp steamer has served well, but for a long, long time. Yes, and we're done with it. Thank you very much. This guy's father or patron gave him a large sum of money. And actually, I think I figured out why this guy is looking for his father's bones. It's because he went off on one last voyage and was never heard from again. That explains everything perfectly. Here's the ship that we're going to be upgrading to, a Forced-class corvette. Small, swift, and formidable, like a very angry vole. It has more than twice the hull, or the damage capacity, of the steamer. It has the same hold, so we can't carry much. It weighs twice as much, which is going to slow us down, but it can carry more crew, comes with an iron bonus, which is like a weapons bonus. It has another slot for weapons, which is important. And best of all, if we buy that, we can afford a bunch of upgrades to it, which will really help us out at the very start of the game. Here in the ship, we start out with 10 fuel, 5 supplies, and a old gun. And we start out with a nice gun from our previous captain and some crappy old engines we've been using. I don't really think you need to take the stuff out of the ship. I'm just doing it just to be sure. We need to give our new ship a name. It suggested Coromandel. I'm thinking, how about Ariel? That's got a nice ring to it. Now that we have a new ship, I need to pick out a new forward gun for it and a new engine. I want one of the most powerful ones available, and we can afford it. I'm buying a forward weapon for the ship. The different kinds of cannons can only go in the different slots. And I'm buying this one for 600 echoes, because it seems like a good one, but it will require torpedoes, so I'll have to buy some of those too. It would take up a huge chunk of my money if I went straight for the most powerful engine I can buy at the moment, but it would make our boat pretty zippy, so I'm going to do it. So I'm dropping the new stuff into the boat. Got the new powerful engines. Got a new forward weapon. I don't want to go too nuts spending money on lamps right now, so I'm just going to go for this 1000 Echo Blazing Glim lamp. I'm going to buy some more fuel and supplies here, because this is the cheapest supplies we're going to see. I'm going to pick up a couple of mushroom wines and a firkin of prisoner's honey in case we need any of that stuff. Yeah, give me a candle or two. Now that we've got the ship kitted out, we can really jump into the game, see what some of these tabs do, such as London. She's the greatest city on the Untersee. Visit the Admiralty's survey office. They'll pay for information from Zea-Captains. Find out what and how. Okay. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligent networks are long gone. The survey office pays Zea-Captains a small sum for recent information. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. The first time you trade in a port report, you'll gain Admiralty's favor. Ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion, speak to our agent there and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Visit the port below and return to London. You can check the details in your journal at any time. Retrieve strategic information from Guiders Moorn in the Corsair's Forest, somewhere not far from home waters. That sounds really dangerous. Go bother pirates? Okay, I have nothing more to say to them. Can't visit the university. Can't carouse in Wolfstack docks. Hire on more crew. This would be a good idea since we have a bigger boat now, or at least more room for crew. I'm going to need more than that. I gained 2 there. I got 13 out of 15. That's close enough. We haven't tried this button yet. A passenger. Someone in the docks wants to board your ship. Agree to carry the Gnomic Gallivant to the Command Canal or the Iron and Misery Funging Station, or both. History is a horse. Who will prick it with their spurs, he cries to no one in particular. A drop of blood may be as precious as a ruby. Okay. Sure. I hope you're not in a hurry, because it's not the first thing we're doing. Welcome aboard. He puffs out his chest. Ruby studs gleam in the lamplight. I know London had enterprising souls still left in it. I am seeking truths, Captain, which, I am told, I may find in the Iron and Misery Funging Station and the Command Canal. Ideally, I'd learn both, but I could settle for one. For at Port Cecil there will be a contest, and we will change the world with a game of chess. A king will fall. Oh, good for you. How about your lodgings? Here you may catch up with your correspondence, rest, or retire altogether from seafaring life. Read the morning papers. The Annex Brigaded Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, the Spiteful Trumpeter. News. News from abroad. The Khanate is threatening war. They always are. London's colonies on the Carnelian coast want independence. They always do. The Untersee, the papers report, has undergone another alteration. Not yet it hasn't. You'd know. Oh ho! A promotional coupon from Mrs. Plenty's Provisioners for a half cask of salt herring. You could use that. You now have one of this. Recent news. You have gained 1 supply. Visit your study. Once your lodgings are large enough to support a study, you can create items, such as an ironclad will. Let's do it. How much? 200 bucks? We've got it. The Court of Chancery, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom it may devour. Ensure it doesn't get its lion tentacles on your property when you're gone. It's taxes. It's talking about taxes, if that was too flowery. Should you die, this will ensure that your heir retains your lodgings and any heirlooms you've accumulated. Now, this guy starts with an expensive house, so, boy, that's a bargain. There, that's taken care of. And nothing else to do here. Out into the house. Yawn, stretch, rise from your desk. I'm running out of buttons I haven't tried. Back to the rest of the city. What's waiting for you in London? Or you can click the London card on the right. Go. Okay. A Zubmariner tutorial. Welcome, delicious friend. How to use your submarine. How to convert your new captain's ship into a submarine. Go to Port Carnelian. I know that. Yes, go away. Here's the thing to do in London, and that is offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite. That's always close by. It's a way I can get a little bit more money for going someplace I was going to explore anyways. So I'm doing it. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. The tomb colonist is in your hold. Take them north to the colony of Enderbite and sell them there. So, okay, I now have one tomb colonist. You know what we didn't do yet? We didn't talk to our officers. Let's see what they have to say. Comatose ferret. Mostly it's immobile. Occasionally it's feral. Let's talk to it. Play with your ferret. Attract its attention. A weary roll of the eye. Play, that eye roll says. Play. I played once in the happy warrens of London before you installed me in this floating coffin and made me eat dried food. Damn your play. It is an eloquent eye roll. Well, you got something happier to say than that, Sly Navigator? Competent? Probably. Trustworthy? Possibly. Right-click to speak to this officer. Yes. You can increase your mirrors, which I can't do. What does he want? What does he seek at Z? Z is enough. But now that you mention it, I have always had the desire to see Frostfound, the place where the Z rises to become a castle, the place where questions and riddles do battle for truth. He sighs dreamily, but he is watching you carefully. Yes, Frostfound. Not the first place we're going, and even if we find it, I probably won't let you go there right away. Here's the plan. Our hold is mostly full of fuel and supplies and some trinkets. We're going to go north and see how long the fuel lasts with this super powerful engine. And then maybe we'll swing south and never get terribly far from London. Just do a little exploring. Here we go. I'm honestly a little excited to see what happens. I've never started with a ship as powerful as this one. I'm still toying with the volume levels, so pardon my dust if I struggle to get it right in the first episode. Hey, there's Hunter's Keep. Let's go explore that. Sunless Sea is a strange, dark, Victorian, Lovecraftian world. Come explore it with me. Better hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Hit the like button for some reason. Leave a comment if you think Han shot first, or if you don't understand why that's so important.